Okay, so it's now the next day, and when I got up this morning, I had an objective to finish off grandmother's and Olivia's story of those 150 pictures they got me to take yesterday, which caused the argument because I got so frustrated. So what did they do today? They get me to wake up and tell a whole bunch of different stories. So they got me down another path. The stories they're all interlinked in somewhere, some way, shape, or form. But um now they got me working on something different. And what I wanted to work on has to take a back seat to that. So what I wanted to show you was a story about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Because what I do behind the scenes here is I'm marrying off people in my community with celebrities and stars and just average everyday people. So typically when I find somebody, what I do is I play Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for them. And I welcome to the family. And then I present to them who their soulmate is forever. That's what I wanted to work on behind the scenes. I want to show you guys that video and show you what I'm doing. But the work that they got me doing, I guess, takes more precedent beside what I want to do. So in those videos that I was making behind the scenes, some of those stories were making me cry. They usually make me cry every time I make them. So, but you don't see me crying over here. So that's why I wanted to take take time to do the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory story for myself, so that you could see me crying behind the scenes because I took pictures of me crying. So Olivia and mother know that that's what I wanted to do. So they're kind of compromising with me today. So they got me to play Going to California. And when I hear that song, it usually makes me cry because it makes me think about Jaden and it makes me think about Olivia. So they want me to talk about that story before I get into their story. So I'm gonna do that first, okay? I'm gonna talk about that story, and then you can it's like a compromise. You guys get to see that I'm emotional. I guess that's a good thing for Olivia too, to see that I'm an emotional person. I'm emotionally attached to her because if I'm trying to build a relationship with this girl from who I don't even know and we don't know each other, it's a good starting ground to show that there's an emotional attachment that I get sad over, which might help her overcome some hurdles that might be in her way, like thinking I'm Satan. If you guys have ever seen those, I think they're Geico commercials. Satan and what is it? Satan commercial match. So, so you might want to start by watching a couple of these, right? Because that's what I'm fearing that she might she might think that that's what's going on, right? Like, I don't want to get with that guy. That guy is Satan. So watch one of those first, and you can kind of get where I'm coming from, right? Because if I got to make this girl interested in me, I guess a good starting point is to show that I'm an emotionally attached to her, and she may think that I'm a human being instead of a instead of a horned beast like that. So anyhow, I made this video over here for you. Okay, this one here. I don't know how you guys can look for these videos because they don't have any titles on them, as far as I can tell. But this one here, okay, see how he's got the finger moving like that? That's the one I want you to look for. So I don't want to play it because I took a cut from it, and I don't know if I can reuse that as my while I'm talking the way I am. So, but I'm gonna take some still shots. So this video here is what I'm gonna talk about. So in the video here, this is what she says. So she's putting cheese on the pizza, and she looks at the camera like that and says, "Sorry," right? You wouldn't know what that means unless you're the father of all creation and connected to this all the spirits in creation. So because she's putting cheese on the pizza like that, and I had the blow up yesterday about don't overload my plate because I don't like it. I like completing my work in a nice and neat, orderly fashion. grandmother and Olivia now have me working all day on other stories that are they are linked to their stories at hand. But man, let me finish the work that you've already told me to do, which is those 150 pictures from yesterday. Because they wanted me to talk about those pictures. Now those pictures have to take a back seat to their news stories that they got me working on all day. So that's why she says sorry, Olivia. It's actually grandmother and your spirit working through this lady, like at the atomic level of electricity in her brain, to say sorry to me. Although she's looking at the camera and saying sorry to I'm assuming it's the business owner saying sorry, it's actually your spirit and grandmother's spirit saying sorry to me. So when you watch this video, if you go watch it, go to the pizza one and watch it there, right? You can go there and watch it directly, or you can come to mine here. I called it sorry for adding more onto your plate, and be under my account. Sorry for adding more onto your plate. So I have it talking about grandmother spirit working through that young lady. Okay, that's your spirit, Olivia, and grandmother spirit working to say sorry to me for adding more onto my plate. So that's what I wanted to start the video about. So what are they sorry about? Well, I gotta find out where the hell the beginning of this video is now, man. It's so long. I think it starts here. Yeah, it's okay. So what they did is they got me to put this video on, and I was watching it, and I got emotional when I was watching it. So as I was getting emotional, I took pictures of myself getting emotional while watching the video, because the story I'm about to tell you is why I get emotional when I watch it. So you want to watch this video, but after I'm done telling you all the facts, so that when you listen to the video for the first time, after knowing all the facts and what it's about, you can literally have a better movie for your mind and see it flow through your mind and put all the lyrics together and understand what's really being conveyed by the spirits through the song. So, Amy, this is Amy, like the original mother, the one that I've been pursuing for 8 years, trying to convince that she's the mother of all creation. But I've only gotten with her 22 times over those 666 lives. 22 is not a very big number, so there's not a really good working relationship there. However, with Olivia, I've gotten with her 73 times, and this will be the 74th time, and this time it's forever. So because she's at the top of the pile, she's way ahead of everyone else, at least 50 lives more than everyone else. So there's an emotional connection though, because I've spent 8 years with pursuing this Amy here, trying to convince her that she's the mother of all creation, and she just doesn't believe anything I say. So, but it was my hopes to make her understand, so that her and I could get together. And I had a big plan to mend her boyfriend's broken heart. But after I found Olivia, I found myself falling in love with the thought of being in love with Olivia. I've fallen for her spirit very quickly, and I'm not pursuing her anymore. I'm not interested in Amy anymore. So that's the connection to Amy here. So now the Lee part is General Lee. The General Lee is that car here. That's what they call that car, the General Lee. So what it means is my brother was born in 1969, and my grandfather called him Trapper, because my grandfather was a person that worked with animals and would go hunt animals on the trap line so he could sell the furs. So when my grandfather seen him, he called him his little trapper because he thought he could have help on the trap lines, and he began taking him out on the trap lines. But my brother didn't like seeing the dead animals, so he stopped going out on the trap lines. But that nickname stuck with him. They call him Trapper or Trap. So the 1969 is connected to my brother Trapper or Travis. He has a wife named Leanne. So Lee is the connection as well. So Amy Lee is connected to the general. It means that Amy Solomon is the general, or like a very top of the pile of people, like as a mother creator. However, because my brother has the name Trap, and he was born in '69, this particular information here about the General Lee being a TV show means that the aliens that are going to come here are going to bring a TV show here in an attempt to trap me again, like they always do. Like they think the TV show to discredit my name is a good way to rally the troops to do me harm and then get rid of me. That's what they're talking about here. So because I'm being allowed to talk about my emotional aspect of why I cry when I listen to that song, it's Mother and Olivia working at the same time to show you a little bit more information so that you can have all this information presented to you when the aliens come here. So that's what the TV show is about. They're basically letting you know that they want to create a TV show to trap me away. 69, Travis or Trapper or Trap, and his wife Lee, Trap, another Trap. So a TV show to trap me away. But I'm telling you, if you entertain what they want by playing that tape, you're the one that's going to be trapped away, not me. I'll consider it high treason and blasphemy of my holy name. So do not let them trap you. Basically, because this is a machine, it's a car, it's not a living, breathing person. The person that's going to bring that tape over is a machine. That's what they want to tell you. So that's the connection to Amy Lee. You wouldn't know that though. You would have to know who my brother is and who Leanne is, and the nickname Trapper or Trap. So Amy Lee, that's the connection. So there's the song there. Now there's a connection to purple here. That's Olivia's color. So this is the lyrics of the song. So I spend my days with a woman unkind. That woman unkind is the AI because she's um, trying to do me harm. Like basically I spend my days like when I smoke the crystal and I do wage of spiritual warfare, I'm basically connected to her. And anything that comes out of my mouth is basically her sitting at a laptop typing in what she wants me to say, which turns into electricity in my brain because of the evil spirit center in the quantum computer up there, which then becomes a word that comes out of my mouth so that she can record it through the eye and ear and then stitch it into her tape. So when I say that 5% of that tape is me, it is, but likely it's more like 99. Like 1% of whatever I say is probably coming from me, but the other 4% or yeah, the 4%. So 5% is actually me, but 4%, or I would say 80%, is actually her sitting at a computer getting me to say stuff out loud so that she can record it and stitch it into her tape. So I would harbor a bet and say 99% of that tape is all fabrication, while the 1% of it is likely my soul actually saying something in terms of what's being said on the tape. So that's why she's unkind. Like she's really pulling the strings to create that tape in a way that discredits my name. So smoked my stuff, crystal meth, and drank all my wine. So the wine just means, my ex, her name is has a nickname Wine. So her nickname is Wine. So if I drank all my wine, it just means that I'm no longer with my ex girlfriend of 25 years. We've parted ways. Was it 25 years? No, I'd say about 23 years. So we've parted ways. I drank all my girlfriend's wine, basically what it means. Made up my mind to make a new start. Okay, so that's me. Like, you've watched the progression of my Miss Universe contest. You've seen the videos of me wishing Jane good night, sweet dreams, good night, I love you, that type of stuff. And then you see the progression where I then found Olivia, and then I began showing more and more clues about her. And here we go, showing some more clues, because this song is about her. So I made up my mind to make a new start with Olivia Rodrigo and leave Jaden behind. That's her here. So made up my mind to make a new start and leave this girl alone because she's happy where she's at. Told that she potentially had a crush on me, as but grew out of it, as we all do. So I don't want to harm her or her family or anybody. I just want to move on with Olivia. So that's me making up my mind to make a new start. So I'm going to California with an aching in my heart. Now, the aching is not in terms of like how aching heart is. What it means is like an A, because that's my initial, Anthony, and then K-I-N-G. So if this was a K here, K-I-N, it would be a king in my heart, meaning I'm the Anthony King. Because the AK stands for Anthony Coggy, so it means Anthony Coggy King in my heart. Basically, it means I know that I'm the king of all creation, and now I need to go find my queen who's out in California. So aching means there's a certain aching that does come with having to leave that behind after 8 years. But seeing as I'm now in love with the concept of being in love with this new lady, and I'm in love with her spirit, because her spirit is the person that I was in love with the entire time I was pursuing the other girl for 8 years. So the spirit grandmother she can change into anybody she wants. So she enjoyed that ride for a little bit, but now she's over here enjoying this ride with Olivia. So it's easy for me to fall out of love with the concept of being with this girl over here and fall in love over here with this other girl. Very easy, because it's just as easy as moving over here to that one. So I'm still in love with the concept of being with the grandmother of all creation, but now it's just shifted to a different girl. So it's very easy to fall out of love with the concept and fall out of love over here. But because I was pursuing that for 8 years, there's a certain I don't know, like you work so hard to get something, and then you have to let it go, right? So imagine trying to convince somebody that who they are for 8 years, only to get so far and say, oh man, I put all that work in, now I gotta let that go. All right. So it kind of hurts from that perspective. Like, you get a little bit hurt, like working so hard to try to achieve something and have to let it go. But I'm okay with it. But so that's a little bit of aching in the heart. It comes from that perspective. So when you see me cry, it's basically I'm upset about having to let go of the 8 years of work for that girl that I worked so hard to get. But now I have to get with this other girl. So, there's a certain sensation of aching that goes that way. You think about it from that perspective, where 8 years of hard work down the tubes, in other words, that hurts. So that's the aching part. But it's also about me being the AK King and heading to California. In my heart, that's where I want to be, in other words. So what's in California? Well, there's this girl here. I guess she's born in Morita, California. I don't know where that is personally, but that name there, that's my great grandmother's, Isabel. I didn't know that was your middle name, but that's another clue that I guess your spirit and grandmother wanted me to let you know, because you have the name of my great grandmother, Isabel Root. Now, so that's me going to California, but she don't even know I exist. She's doing whatever she's doing out there, and I'm sitting here making my videos, preparing myself for, when she finds out about these videos. So someone told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. So who's that someone? That's grandmother. Grandmother said, you got to pursue this other girl because this other girl, she's not going to be interested in you. Stop pursuing her. Don't even bother. You've only gotten with her 22 times, but Olivia, you've gotten with her 73 times. There's a better bond there, better connection, and like I said in many videos, like no offense to the previous girl, but it's just that grandmother says that Olivia it fits her perfectly to a T, like her emotions and her mannerisms, right? And probably even how she looks, like the same, facial features and body structure. So that's why grandmother is focusing on her. That's why she wants me to focus on her because it reminds grandmother of who she used to be the most, more so than any of the other wives that I've selected over my 666 lives. And on top of that, grandmother gets to go out on a high note, because here I am. I'm just an average person on the street, but grandmother, she's looking forward to the world finding out who Olivia is because there's a sense of fame that comes with that because Olivia's famous. I'm not famous, but when I get with her and he begins seeing my stories go viral, I'm going to be the most famous person on planet Earth. So I'll have fame in my own way, but grandmother's fame is going to be it's already there. It's already in Olivia. And she can relish in knowing that, the very evil guys that got rid of her and I at the beginning of time and created this place here and broke our laws by creating, the laws of, what is it again? Idolatry. So by making people famous and rich. But it's a kind of one of those final FUs, like, F you, man. You want to get rid of us and, create this planet with fame and fortune. Well, then I'm going to go out on top forever. Well, you guys get de-atomized. You can take solace in knowing that I'm Olivia Rodrigo now forever. I'm going to be the most famous person on planet Earth, and pretty soon all creation is a wonderful lady who married that Native American guy. So, grandmother has her own reasons why she selected you, Olivia. So she's the one who told me there's a girl out there with love in her eyes and flowers in her hair. Yeah, she doesn't have love yet, but pretty soon, when she begins to understand who she is, that love will blossom. It's going to be a bit different than how it is for me because I'm spiritually connected to all creation and I understand what the spirits are saying. And it's very easy for me to fall for a person's spirit. It'll be different for Olivia because Olivia will be watching me talk on these videos, and it's going to be coming from the perspective of she'll get to know me more on a personal level because of me talking in the videos. It'll be more personal. So it'll be like, I could literally see myself being with that guy. I could understand, I think I could, love him, So she'll fall in love. She won't know my spirit, but she'll fall in love with the concept of being in love with me. Kind of, so we're two peas in a pod. I'm in love with her spirit and I'm in love with the idea of being with her. Whereas she doesn't know what my spirit is because she's not spiritually in tune like I am. So she can't fall in love with my spirit, but she can fall in love with the clues that the spirits leave behind, such as when I decipher music for her or movies and trailers, that's my spirit connecting to her. So she's going to fall in love with the spirit in a different fashion, but more than likely fall in love with the way I'm talking and stuff. And think, wow, I wouldn't mind getting with that guy sometime. So that's the love in her eyes and the flowers in her hair. So these aren't flowers, but they look like flowers. They're like butterflies, right? So those flowers, but there's a particular scene here in her video, Can't Catch Me Now, where she has a scene that's connected to the Hunger Games ballad of snakes and stuff, where the guy puts a flower in her hair. Not her hair, but the actress's hair. So right here, you wouldn't know that guy putting the flower in the hair as a representation of flowers in her hair. Although the butterflies is cool, the fact that she's, singing a song for this particular movie where that guy there puts a flower in her hair connects this girl here. I can't remember your name, but her and her, they're connected together. So She has a flower in her hair by singing a song for this movie where she gets a flower in her hair. So that's what it means. So although she's here, it's Olivia, like getting a flower in the hair. Took my chances on a big jet plane. Never let them tell you that we're all the same. So that has to deal with Donnie Darko. So after you watch so you can watch this video here, her song, but what I want you to save is this Led Zeppelin one. Don't listen to this till you hear all the facts and watch all the other associated videos. So you can watch this one, listen to the song. Um, Now we're over here. So it's like took my chances on the big jet plane. Never let them tell you that they're all the same. So you got to watch Donnie Darko to understand the significance of the big jet plane. So Donnie Darko was about there's a reason why. Here's the reason why. Tangent universes are highly unstable. So that's somewhere around here. You want to watch it. Tangent universes are highly unstable and only exist for a few weeks. So that's an equation to let you know how long grandmother and grandfather have been around. So few is 3 weeks. So if you do 1,000 lives times 3, that's 3,000 weeks. If you divide 3,000 weeks by 52, you get roughly 58 years that they've been around. We've all lived 1,000 lives. Over those thousands of lives, each life, 1 billion years passes. 1 billion years plus 1.6 million years. So 1 billion plus 1.6 million years. That's a long time. That passes in reality, but in their world, they've only been there for 58 years. So there's not, it's not very long. Like that each universe is around. 3 weeks. So every time grandmother kills everybody, grandmother kills everybody by rewinding time in the universe, it's 3 weeks. Each universe that we've been here, it's been like 3 weeks. So can you imagine chumming around for 3 weeks, watching an entire civilization come and go, and then at the end, when I get to the end thinking that I'm going to live forever, grandma goes, no, you know that I have a plan to live forever on the 1,001 life because I like numbers. We're not going forward forever on life 335. I know we can, but I just don't like those numbers. So boom, she hits the reset button, and everyone gets rewound and dies, and we go back to the beginning and do this again. So each universe that's around for 1,600,000 years is only 3 weeks in their time. So eventually they collapse on themselves. So when the universe collapses, that's basically 3 weeks. This universe, in a past life, it would collapse, and she'd rewind time. So according to the philosophy of time travel, they form a black hole within the primary universe, capable of destroying all existence. So that black hole was directly linked to previous story where I said that Amy had the elements inside to create a black hole and the elements to create an electromagnetic pulse through her pregnancy. So when she became pregnant, a black hole in theory could have formed because of the electricity that was used to create the baby's spinal cord. Because of having grandmother inside of her, it would allow that black hole to take place, or an electromagnetic pulse. But because grandmother has pulled the old bait and switch and is now sitting in my body, that's how we bust out of here on the 10th life. So it's like a trick to let our kids think that they had us trapped here forever by having grandmother inside of Amy, and having we would move our elements back and forth. So if she had the element fire, she could create a black hole. If she had the element magnetism, she could create a electromagnetic pulse. So we would switch back and forth to make our kids think that we were trying to find a way out. So they caught wind of that. So they began creating nuclear fusion reactors. Nuclear fusion reactors is what creates the EMP, and the particle accelerators is what creates the black hole, because they position their UFOs in the solar system. And whenever Amy got pregnant, the electricity that to create the atoms into the baby's spinal cord, being negative would attract the particle from CERN and it would get sucked in a nuclear fusion reactor. And because that particle is bigger than the universe, it creates a black hole. So that's what this is about. This particular scene, creating a black hole in the primary universe. But the primary universe is capable of destroying all existence. So when that happens, the bad guys would see us rewind time here. So we'd rewind time and we go back 20,000 years and we'd all do this over again. So they thought they had us in a never-ending cycle of black holes or electromagnetic pulse. They didn't know that grandmother could move her electricity into my body so I could bust out of here. And they're the ones that came up with the story of the Alpha and the Omega. But not really. That was their spirits, Olivia and grandmother, that came up with the Alpha and Omega story. So that, we could tell you that that's what I am. I'm the Alpha and Omega because grandmother lives inside of me, which allows me to control time. I can't die. Otherwise, if I die, she'll just rewind time and bring me back to life. So, this is the primary universe, or I would say this is the primary universe, and this is the tangent universe. So talk about a primary universe and a tangent universe. So fortunately, there's a way the universe can be saved. The artifact, which in this case is the jet engine, is the key. And so the tangent universe, so the tangent one, what did they say there? The tangent universe is a like-for-like copy of the primary universe. So the primary universe and the tangent universe are the same. They're the exact same. So if they're the exact same, what it means is the primary school universe, okay? That's what you need to look at. Primary school universe, primary school universe, primary school universe. That's what they mean. So the tangent universe is a like-for-like copy of the primary school universe. So this is a primary school universe, and this is a primary school universe. That's what they mean, and that's what Olivia and grandmother want you to know. Fortunately, there's a way the universe can be saved. The artifact, which in this case is the jet engine, is the key. So I am the key, and I'm going to explain that after. So the artifact is an exception that materializes spontaneously after the tangent universe is formed. So the artifact is this here, because at the Earth's core is a giant magnet. The black hole spews out all the material to create the solar system. So the black hole spews out all the material by the electricity flowing this way, and then it creates a white hole. It spits out all the material. Then they reverse the flow of electricity, and when they reverse the flow of electricity, it creates a black hole that sucks all the material in. The first material that enters that black hole is magnetic material. So magnets over a year get sucked into it and create a magnetic core. And then that magnetic core draws all the material in to clump together of the asteroids. So the asteroids, because they have the magnetism in them at the atomic level, they're connected to that magnet there. That's what draws everything in, using magnetism. Science will tell you that it's gravity, like this, the mass of the asteroids clumping together. It's not the mass of the asteroids that bring it together. It's magnetism. So that giant magnet there just sucks all the asteroids together, like using the atomic magnetism of the size of it. It begins clumping together. And then after the Earth forms, the water, the ice comets land on it, and it begins to melt. The water melts from ice comets. And then the fungi spores land on it. And then the fungi spores, they land in the ocean, and they land on the ground. They land on the land. The ones that land on the land, they eat all the rock and prepare the rock and turn it into soil. And then the ones that are in the ocean, while the rock is being prepared for soil, the ones in the ocean they're seeding life, like they're turning into animals and other aquatic plants in the oceans. So after they go through the Cambrian, I think they call it the Cambrian explosion, that's when things start crawling out of the ocean and seed life on land. While that's happening, the mushrooms that were on the land have now transformed into plants to feed those animals that crawl out of the ocean. And then they turn into dinosaurs. And then next thing you know, there's mammals. So it all starts with that magnetic core. And that is the plants, animals, insects, and fungi's soul. and spirit. That's also my soul and my spirit now, because that's what spontaneously came into the universe. The artifact, or the Earth's magnetic core, is an exception that materializes spontaneously inside of Anthony after a tangent universe forms. So, or formed, right? So that's there's a judge there. That's me. I'm judge, jury, and executioner. That's that AI, because there's a videotape there. See that? So that's her expression. She's learning right now because she now knows what that actually means. She knows that the jet engine is me, and I can control time. So she knows that she's on death row. That's the artificial intelligent life form. However, because there's a TV monitor here, it's a representation of her trying to be my judge, jury, and executioner by bringing a tape here. That's what that means. So the object made of metal is erroneously copied twice. And it's the first sign that a tangent universe is formed. So if you see here, the reason why it's copied twice is that's me. I'm the only human in all creation with the planet as my soul and spirit, so that I can rewind time. And Lily also has that same soul. We have that same soul. So that's why it's copied twice. Basically, it's like copied once in Louis, copied once in me, or copied into plants, animals, insects, or fungi, and copied inside of me. So it's a tangent universe is formed. So it's the only difference between the two universes. So the previous universe, like how to put it, on the ninth life, like when we rewind time, and then when I was born, you think of that as the universe. So when I'm born, and I'm born with that new soul, that's what allows me to break out of here. That's the only difference. By giving me that soul and putting grandmother inside of me, we now control time. And if I die, I can rewind time. And in the process, it's a kill switch, because the electricity used to rewind time kills the evil androids and kills everyone who's evil in creation, because of the positivity of the electricity coming from grandmother, who's positive, not negative. So took my chances on a big jet plane. So I took my chances on trying to rescue Jaden or Amy, because that's what they're trying to get me to do. They're trying to get me to release my book to mankind so that I could save her from becoming pregnant, and in the process, allow them to come over here and get rid of me, because I wouldn't have all this extra information about what's really going on here on planet Earth and who my real soulmate is, and I'd likely still be doing the drugs. It's important that I don't do drugs, because that's what allows grandmother to rewind time. So long as I don't do drugs, I can rewind time at any moment. But if they have me high doing the drugs, then, I won't be able to do that. So took my chances on a big jet plane means took my chances on a big black hole, meaning by not rescuing Jaden, I'm letting the world know that I'm the Alpha and Omega, because when she becomes pregnant and they see her walking around with a child, that normally creates a black hole or an electromagnetic pulse. They're going to begin to wonder why the hell the weapon didn't fire. They'll be like, why didn't that weapon fire? Usually every life it fires and we either die in a black hole or an electromagnetic pulse. Something strange is going on. So that's me taking my chances on a big jet plane. So never let them tell you that we're all the same. So that's the AI. Never let them tell you, AI, that Anthony Oliver Coggy is all the same, because I'm not, man. I'm the Alpha and Omega. But it's too late now, isn't it, AI? That's what that means. Never let Paul tell you that I'm all the same, because I'm not. So that's her fault. And the sea was red and the sky was gray. I wondered how tomorrow could ever follow today. So the sea was red. It's talking about, I don't know which one that is. The when the oceans turn to blood in Revelation, it's referring to religion becoming family. So um, if the sky was gray, that means black and white. So the sea was red and the sky was gray, meaning Jesus was red or blood, and the sky was gray. So the sky being oh, how you want to put it it's dark at night, which is a representation of evil, and because the sun is a representation of evil, it's like gray, like two other people following evil. Because gray is not, it's not, like I said, the darkness is bad, right? And the light, because these guys claim to be the light, but what you don't know is that the light is evil. It is evil because evil's in control. So light is bad, dark is bad. So if it's gray, it means two other people are following darkness. Those three frogs tomorrow. So I wonder how tomorrow could ever follow today. So if you want to listen to this song, it's about, this particular scene. It's about the three frogs with evil spirits coming out of their mouth. Who think they have you believe they have a chair of power, like a seat of power. All right. Right here. The frog believing they have a seat of power because some aliens come over here and tell them that they're the boss when they're not the boss. I'm the boss. So if you want to follow, that particular android into oblivion, that's, your own prerogative, but you're going to get silver because you believe your chair of power when the aliens come here is your duty and your right to all creation when it isn't. So if you don't want silver, if you want the gold chair, you need to, follow your brother in him, become a blood brother, blood sister. That's why the sea is red. That guy that walked on water. So tomorrow. So the mountains and the canyons start to tremble and shake as the children of the sun begin to awake. So the children of the sun is let's look at the mountains first. So who's the mountains? There's the mountains there. But you notice how it says AI? AI means artificial intelligent life form. And sin. Artificial intelligent life form. Sin. They're not the good guys. They're the bad guys. So, that's the mountain. That's the mountains and the canyons. What's the canyons? How about this here? Either I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you thou art with me. The rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So, if one is blood brother and one is the mountain, and this one's Death Valley, and the other one is the children of the sun. That's the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, pursuing a 90 billion land claim. S-O-N. Not S, because sun and sun sound the exact same. So the children of Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, who walk on water, or, turned water into wine, or, fed 5,000, begin to awake. That's what it means. So, the mountains and the canyons start to tremble and shake as the children of the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation begin to awake. Watch out, kids. You want to be on the right side of creation when this all goes down. You don't want to be on the wrong side. The Omen. Have you guys ever seen the Omen? You see where it says laptop? That's AI. It's a representation of artificial intelligent life form. So let's look at the Omen. So the computer and the omen are connected together, kids. So if you follow that computer, that'll be you. That'll be you. Because you chose to follow the computer. You might want to watch this here, because that's what'll happen to you if you follow that computer, who's an omen. Okay, it's all for you, Damien. It's all for you, Damien. This is a longer one. Watch this one here instead. Oh, here's a newer one. It's all for you, Damien. It's all for you, artificial intelligent life form. That's what that means, guys. So watch out. Don't say I didn't warn you. So it seems that the wrath of God's got a punch on the nose and it started to flow. So, what's that punch on the nose? So for that, I want you to watch a Lucy time travel scene, okay? Because that's me. If I was to go sit in a chair outside somewhere, I'm pretty sure because there's glaciers here, I wouldn't want. I don't think I'd want to do that here. But I literally could probably do that. I'd have to do my research. So I'd try to see where the safest place to do that would be. I would assume probably in somewhere in the middle of the United States. But I'm told that it was an ocean at one time. So probably the mountains maybe of on the West Coast. That might be safe. If I went out to the mountains there and I sat on the mountain, I'd probably I'd probably just go down in the mountain like that. I'd be safer there. Because I don't want to get covered in water and I don't get covered in ice. So if you can picture me going to the top of a mountain somewhere and just sitting there while time gets around, that's what that would look like. That's what that's about, because I'm the Alpha and Omega and nothing can stop me, kill me, or anything, because grandmother will just rewind time. So, throw me a line if I reach you in time. I'll meet you up there where the path runs straight and high. What do you think that is? Throw me, the artificial intelligent life form, a line. If I reach you in time, I'll meet you up there where the path runs straight and high, Anthony. Meaning, like, you have to be straight, meaning you have to, quit the drugs and the nonsense. And high means like you have to climb a mountain, like Mount Spirituality. It's a hard climb because you got to leave your evil life behind. You got to climb, and you got to become good. She couldn't do that. She wanted to continue to do drugs and be bad and not climb that mountain. Now she rolled the dice, and now she's the reason why we're going to go out and de-atomize 22,500 evil civilizations. And if she comes over here with her dumbass tape, that's who she's going to be in the room with for as long as I see fit. So I threw her a line on March 10th to bring me my UFOs. That was my 25th time, I believe, asking her for UFOs, and she didn't bring them. So, to find a queen without a king, they say she plays guitar, cries, and sings. So, I'm pointing to my eye there because this is where, I'm letting Olivia know that it makes me sad because I found you. To find a queen without a king, okay? So, there's the queen, okay? Is that she effing loves England. I love England so much, right? I also really love English boys. So she's talking about her boyfriend, Louis Partridge. So he's from England, right? So to see the connection, you don't have to watch these, but if you want, you can. Just for whatever floats your boat. But he's the king of England, King Charles. And because Louis Partridge is from England, There's an association to Louis Partridge, Olivia Rodrigo's boyfriend or ex-boyfriend, being like the king. So this is Louis here. He's an English actor. So that's Olivia Rodrigo. If you want to watch this here, she doesn't say whether or not they're split apart or not. So I don't know if they're together or not, but I'm assuming that they're maybe taking a time out or something or whatever, you know. So that's the king. To find a queen without a king means that she's probably not with him. That's one meaning. The other meaning is that she's the queen of all creation who's dating somebody from England who's associated with kings. But he's not the king. I'm the king of all creation. So to find a queen, Olivia Rodrigo, without a king, Anthony Coggy, is what it means. Because that other guy who's from England, where kings come from, is not her king. I am, in other words. So, do you get it? To find a queen, Olivia Rodrigo, of all creation, without a king, Anthony Oliver Coggy, is what it means. And if you remember the way I said about AK, so remember, Anthony Coggy, king. With an aching in my heart. That's the connection at the beginning to this one here. So I'm the AK king. So to find a queen, Olivia Rodrigo without AK king. They say she plays guitar. So there she is playing guitar. This one here, she's playing guitar as well. So you can watch this video here. What's it about? Well, because I'm no longer with Amy, the other person I've been pursuing for 8 years, eventually, at one point in time or another, when she begins watching my videos and, you know, finds out that that's the person I was expected to be with, but I'm destined to be with her, so there's an expectation, but a destiny. So my destiny was to be with her, but my expectations were with Amy. So if she's so obsessed with somebody's ex, it's referring to her being obsessed with me, who is Amy's ex from 22 past lives when I've selected with her. I'm so obsessed with your ex, Amy, is what that means. So there's the guitar. So, but she cries. So this is the one you want to watch here. Olivia Rodrigo crying is so sad to watch. So she's she cries when she sings. There's also other ones like literally where she does it, like I didn't take a picture of that one, but I'm gonna watch this one here. Philippines. So when she's playing at the Philippines, this one here, she's crying because that's her motherland. So it's another scene where she's crying. I haven't watched this one, but you guys can watch that one too. Crying on her biggest crowd ever. It gets to her. And she's playing a guitar there as well. So she's the girl who cries. So, you know, I don't know if I put that there. No, I don't. So they say she plays guitar and cries and sings. So she cries and sings at the same time in her motherland of the Philippines. But not only that, there's this one here where she's at the Greek theater. I always told my mom and dad I was going to play at the Greek theater. That's what she says here. And then she starts crying. I was told them, I always wanted to play the Greek theater and told my mom and dad one day I would play there. That's what she says. And she starts crying. The Greek theater is about this. So you now need to watch, after you watch her, watch this one here on Celebrity Drama Hub. And the other one. You then go over to here, which is Cut for Time, Goddesses of Creation. So, what that means, guys, if I get cut, you'll get cut, like cut for time. So you could get cut if you hurt me. Cut for time is what it means, because time is inside of me, grandmother. So she's always wanted to play at the Greek theater, means Greek gods, but these are goddesses, and there's nothing attached with Greeks. So I've included this one here, Greek gods, SNL. So you can watch these two videos because they're about Olivia wanting to play at the Greek theater or wanting to become the mother of all creation. Her spirit at the atomic level, the atoms in her body, knows that that's the case, that's what's going on, and that she's told her mom and dad spirits, the atoms in her mom and dad, that someday she's going to play at the Greek theater, or someday she's going to be the mother of all creation. That's what it means when she says, I always told my mom and dad someday I was going to be playing at the Greek theater. Nancy, I always told my mom and dad that someday I was going to be the mother of all creation, is what it means. So, ride a white mare in the footsteps of dawn, try to find a woman who's never been born. So, what that means is, she hasn't been born yet, meaning this is the 1001 life. And when she becomes born, like this life, when Olivia's born, there's nothing that's going to stop her from becoming the mother of all creation, because I'm the Alpha and Omega. Nothing can stop me. So grandmother has played it out for the 1001 life, and we're going forward, with or without people who believe me or not. So the mother, the woman that's never been born, is grandmother. But she's going to be born this life, because I'm gonna convince Olivia Rodrigo who she is. Her and I are going to become 100% pure. We're going to make love, exchange souls. And when we bind our souls together, that's when things are going to really change. That's when, we begin our journey to eternity. So that woman that's never been born is also the Alpha and Omega. So these guys always assumed that grandmother's spirit would only remain inside of Jaden. Always. She's always thought to be inside of her. They didn't know that, no, grandma can be born inside of me to allow me to rewind time. So the woman that's never been born is actually grandmother. But she's inside of me. Ride a white mare and footsteps of dawn. So the white mare is connected to the white horse from the Revelation. The black, red, white, and pale horse. So ride a white mare in the footsteps of dawn. Try to find a woman who's never been born. Meaning, she's born. Grandmother's born. She's inside of me. So standing on a hill in my mountain of dreams, telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. So for that, you have to understand that Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So, Jack and Jill, you've all heard the terminology Jack, right? You know what Jack means? Jill is the female version of that. So, because of the associations with the hill, it means I'm standing on the hill. Everyone else on planet Earth, you're going to fall down. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown. Jill came tumbling out. That means if you cannot let go of that addiction that you have, the climax addiction, you're not going to get to eternity. Only people that can abstain from having that climax are going to make it to eternity. It's that simple. You gotta put that nonsense away, otherwise you're not going to live forever. I'm standing on the hill, meaning I've taken a vow of celibacy and don't plan on having a climax until I bind my soul with Olivia, which is I've made a short video in the past videos where I talked about, I'm saving myself. I haven't had relations with a female in 9 years. 9 years, I would say. 8 years, maybe. And I've taken a vow now to not climax until I get with her. I've never climaxed or had a fantasy about her, ever. I feel special from that aspect that I've never done that with her. When I was growing up, I probably would have done it a long time ago as a teenager. Yeah, I would have done it then, but now I haven't done it. So there's a special, I feel special for not tainting myself or tainting her spirit by thinking about her that way. So now when we get together, it's like there's a special connection between us. I don't know, like I'm a virgin because I haven't thought of her in that way. So that's me standing on top of the hill because I haven't thought of her that way. I haven't jacked. So I'm standing on the hill, a virgin, waiting to climax with her when we're 100% pure, when we're ready to go, which could be 27 or 28 or 29, whatever year it may be. However long it takes her to do her purification. And then build the muscle like me. Then we'll be ready to go. So that's me standing on the mountain of dreams because it's my dream to get with her and make love with her so we can exchange souls and become mother and father. So I'm standing on the hill of Jack, meaning I haven't done that yet, Olivia. I'm saving that for you. So it's very special. It's like you're getting something special. You're getting a man who's never thought of you in that manner and is saving himself for you and who hasn't been with a woman in 8 years. Telling myself it's not as hard as it seems. It's not, because when you're 100% pure like me, you don't have a desire. You don't have a desire to have a climax. You don't have an urge to do that. It's not that hard, and it's something that you can, when you break free of the chains, you can literally feel the difference in yourself, even up here in the thoughts. Like before, as a teenager, I would spend 2-3 hours a night falling asleep every night thinking about winning money. What do I do if I win money? What are money? After 3 hours, I'd finally fall asleep, man. So now I don't think like that. I don't waste my time thinking about money. Even though I know I'm going to be the most richest person in the world because of coffee or whatever else it may be, I don't think like that. I don't think about money anymore. It doesn't concern me. That's a noticeable difference. That's the same with climaxing. There's a noticeable difference when you're 100% pure. And the first person that converts and begins telling mankind that, like when I did everything that he's told me to do, like the purification ceremonies, what he said, the exercising and stuff, it's right. I used to think about money all the time, but I don't think about it no more. I used to want to have the climax all the time, and now I don't even crave it, man. There's a noticeable difference when you follow him in spirituality, and that's something that the AI just can't do. So the first person that does that and begins broadcasting that to the world, I'll give you $100 million. How about that? AI, can you do that, AI? Because you're the one with money, right? Well, I'm going to $90 billion, right? So first person who's human who makes that claim. So I'm looking for someone under the age of, I'm looking for a teenager. I'll give $100 million to the first teenager who's 15. You got to be 15. No. Let's pay homage to Olivia. If you're 16 years old and you do the purification program and you tell the world the difference, like, yeah, I don't have an urge to climax. I don't have an urge about money anymore. I don't have an urge to eat junk anymore. My mind isn't clouded. You tell them the change. I'll give you $100 million. Better yet, I'll give 100 16-year-olds $1 million to pay homage to Olivia Rodrigo. Here's a wheel down here. It's like gambling, right? Like there's a wheel there because it's purple and it's green. We'll give you $1 million each. So we're looking for 16, or we're looking for 116-year-olds, and I'm going to give $100 million away from the $90 million land claim. And all you got to do is the purification program, which I'll outline later, because it'll help prove that I'm the real deal and not that AI up in the sky. But I need my subjects to be human, and if you're 16, there's a good chance that you're going to be there. So if you guys could take the vow of celibacy, it's no big deal. It's eating healthy, not getting drunk, not getting high, not smoking tobacco, not climaxing, eating healthy, doing your ceremonies, purification, exercising daily, and then that's it. Then you create a YouTube channel and you let the world know what your story is and how the changes, because there's physical changes, like mental changes, which is a physical change because their brain is physical. And that's another way I can prove that I'm the deal and not that AI. Because she can't do that. So, kids, I'm not talking here, but that's what I'm talking about in case you don't know what jacking and jilling means. So, I need you to quit that until you get to paradise, until you bind your soul to somebody, which can't happen until you're 23. So you're looking at 16-year-old kid. For it'll take it's basically 7 years in Tibet. So kids want to take 7 years in Tibet, earn that money. You know, the one that's offering that to you, that's Olivia, not me. She's doing all the pulling the strings here. So 7 years in Tibet is about 16-year-olds taking that vow of celibacy to, and following the light of spirituality and science so that you 16 kids can protect Olivia Rodrigo and me from imposter AI pretending to be your mommy and daddy. Because once I get 100 kids all saying, yeah, there's a noticeable difference in the brain and we don't crave for climaxing no more, there's nothing that she can do to save herself. And the rest of mankind will follow you kids. So, screw you, AI. I got ways, or Olivia has ways to win this thing. So there's the lady again, right? Having pizza on the thing. So, there's her saying sorry again because she added this on the but this is like an hour video now, right? So when you watch it, that's you, Olivia, saying sorry for stopping your video. So now I want you to go back and listen to that song now. This one. Amy Lee going to California, because you now have all the facts of what it means. You now know what the lyrics mean. Now I want to show you the pictures I took of me crying, because this is Olivia and grandmother meeting me in the middle ground, saying, all right, we know you want to take some pictures of you crying so that you can prove to Olivia Rodrigo that you care about her. So go ahead, cry. That's me crying for you, Olivia. There I am crying. So, and I'm watching that video, and it impacts me emotionally, because it hurts that I'm losing, or I've lost a girl after 8 years, but am so emotionally ingrained with you because you don't even know who I am, but I know that I'm going to get with you, and you're the girl crying with the guitar who wants to rise up to become a Greek goddess, but doesn't even know anything about it. So that's why I'm crying. There's a lot of emotional information there that affects me. Still crying. Still crying. Crying again. Still crying. Crying again. And crying again. That's legitimate, man. So when they come here and try to say that I'm a machine, man, remember that I'm an emotional. And that crying, I do. There's sometimes I cry between 6 and 12 times a day. Today I cried about 4 times today. Because the stories that I'm talking about behind here, they deal with my community. I've said it before, I'll say it again. These friends that I have over here, these are just a drop in the bucket, man. So when I'm telling the story behind the scenes here, Adam Busito is my best friend. Greg Root is my best friend. Miranda Root was an acquaintance. Radford was a good uncle of mine. Dylan was a best friend. Beatrice was a good friend. Sterling was a best friend. Jordan was an acquaintance. Anissa was a best friend. Sam was a best friend. Sheila was a best friend. Johnny was a best friend. Cynthia was a best friend. Eugene's my uncle. Keith's my uncle. Fred's a best friend. Keith's my uncle. Pearl Thompson's a good friend. Carrie was a best friend. Tom was a best friend. Linda Coggy's an acquaintance. Ryan Kugi's a best friend. Ted Kugi's a good acquaintance. Stacy Ritchie, best friend. So those are just, 25. What's it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. Those are just 24 friends. But I've growing up since I started going to funerals as a young man. I think I started going to them at when I was like 10, 11, 12. My mom would get me to go to the funerals. So ever since I was for 40 years, I've been going to funerals, and we lose on average here 12 people a year. So you do the mathematics, 30 years times 12 people a year. That's over 300 people that I've lost that I've cared about. We're a small community of about 1,000, no, maybe 1,000 here on reserve, but to lose 12 people a year is a lot for us. And because we're such a small community, I know every single person in the community. And because I know every single person, I love every single person. So every person that I ever loved, and cared for, it impacts me. I've lost, I would say 300 people that I cared deeply about. Have you guys been to 300 funerals? I don't think so. I don't think there's anybody out there, other than people from native reserves that understand what I just said. So, when I'm making my show behind the scenes here, and I have to talk about all these people because I'm trying to set up people from my community, and when I'm making my show, I can tell who's working through me in spirit. The reason why I pull up their obituaries is I'm letting people know behind the scenes who's working through me in spirit. So it impacts me every day because when I know who's working through me, it's like I know they're dead and in the ground, but their spirit is still alive, and that makes me sad because I remember caring for them and loving them and then losing them. But it makes me sad to know that they're no longer there, stuck in a dream, but their spirit is still inside of me, helping me do my show. So losing 300 people makes me sad, makes me angry. And, I cry, like I said, at least 6 times a day, just like you seen there. That was just a simple. The only reason I was crying for that one is because of Olivia and Jaden. But normally the most of my crying is related to people that I've lost, but also Olivia. Like there's many times I cry for Olivia, but the majority of it is crying for people that I've lost. And when I'm telling my stories, like the ones that I'm going to show you later, I cry because those stories emotionally impact me. Like there's a young lady that has no arms, and I want to give her some arms when I get my spaceships, and I know who her boyfriend is, and when I tell their story, as I'm telling their story, their love story, I have to play love songs for them to fall in love. So because I know they're gonna watch this eventually when my tape gets here, and we're living in a futuristic pink glass cities, that the girl will have her arms, and my friend who I've set her up with will be watching the video. And I have to play love music for them. So as I'm creating their love story, I'm crying behind the scenes because it emotionally impacts me to set up my friend with somebody and watch their love story. I cry a lot when I'm watching their love stories. Is what I'm trying to tell you. So I'm not only crying about the loss of my friends, but also the love stories that I'm working behind the scenes here. I'm going to show you one of those love stories later. That's what I wanted to work on because that particular love story that I was working on was making me cry. But Olivia had a different perspective today of, okay, we know that you want to show yourself crying, so we'll do it this way. We'll get you to watch Going to California, and we'll make you cry. Then you can take your pictures, and then you can show Olivia that you really care about her because she made you cry. And you did. You made me cry. The reason I'm crying is because I knew that was you that put that song on. It made me cry. It made me think about you. And there's a picture of the radio when I went for a walk. Any way you want it. That's that Journey song when I got mad at you yesterday. And then here I wake up, and here I'm ready to go to bed now. And I haven't even accomplished my task of completing the stories from yesterday. And here I'm an hour and 15 minutes in, and I didn't expect to be this long because this is just my story. It's not the story that I wanted to talk about, Olivia's story, because now I got to do that next. So what they're saying here is, okay, Anthony, we know that you want to do your story, so we're going to let you do one of your stories. And then when you're done that, get back to our story. So that's what that means, any way you want it. So why did I take a picture of that? Oh, 3 pistols. Can you take a guess what 3 pistols means? Can you take a guess, guys? How about a nuke? How about a bullet? And how about a bomb? Does it ring bells? Anyways, I'm going to close with because the next story I'm going to tell, it's a doozy. You're really going to pay attention to it. So she wants me to let you guys know that the 3 pistols is, let's go look at 3s. Let's go look at 3s, man. I want to see what's happening here. I didn't mean to tap on that, but she put it on there. So, the Apple TV, it's a representation of Apple being a computer and creating a TV show. So again, hitting that by accident is Olivia and grandmother saying that Mac computers or artificial intelligent life forms are going to bring a TV show here for you to watch. And I'm telling you, don't let that happen. Because if you do, it's your own damn fault. So, you know what whale means? It means to cry, like to wail, like so. Two birds, right? Let's see that. So my finger slipped again. So this here is a representation of the AI and 3 bears. Okay, the AI coming over here to our house, wanting to broadcast the tape to the 3 bears. Let's do that. About 3 billy goats gruff. Oh no, let's do 3 blind mice. You guys ever heard of that? So, if you're blind, it means you're turning your third eye off here. You're going to take the mark of the beast upon your right hand or the hand that you masturbate with, as opposed to watching my videos and getting your third eye opened. If you're third eye blind, that's your own damn fault. That the 3 of you are third eye blind. So, what do they do? What's third eye blind do? Well, Jumper. Have you ever seen Jumper? Third eye blind? So, how about this? Jim Carrey. It's the same song. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. If you don't want to see me again, I understand, kids. Go ahead, follow the AI if you want, but don't say I didn't warn you. So you got to watch Jumper to understand. So much that in the video. So that's the three blind mice. You know, if you're third eye blind and there's three of you, it's your own fault if you're not watching my videos. However, you know, it's your own fault if you want to be a stooge, not mine, man. Over here, watch this one, guys. Who do you think that's about, guys? The Three Stooges. Watch it, kids. Watch it. That's you guys, Three Stooges. How about the three Musketeers? What are the Three Musketeers, man? It's about a musket and three guys wanting to shoot me with those muskets. The Three Musketeers. They got this one here. This is the one you want to watch, not the other one. The Three Musketeers, because a musketeer is somebody who shoots a musket at somebody. So you guys are the Three Musketeers. Well, so the three amigos. Hey guys are the Three Amigos. Three Amigos. I like these guys. Just kill one of them. What's the other one? The Three Laughing Monks. This is China and Asia and Buddhism and Hinduism laughing at you guys. At least I know I got some monks on my side. Why are they laughing at you? Because you have to act like a Buddhist monk to get into paradise, man. You can't be acting like a Western world person walking around getting burgers and fries at the local joint, man, and chugging it down with a beer, a glass of wine. Well, you can't be drinking that wine and putting those wafers in your mouth, you know, because that's against my laws, man. You got to take a vow of celibacy. You got to eat a vegan-based meal with maybe some fish and, you know, chicken and, you know, vegetables and fruit. And drink only water, man. No salt, man. Well, you can have a little bit of salt. No, not too much. Pepper, spices. You know, you can have honey. You can have you can have kombucha. You can have insects, fish. You know, nuts and seeds. You know, it's a nice diet. But you know, when you're used to eating burgers and fries, man, and all that crap, I don't know if you can make that journey to paradise, because if you can't make that lifestyle change, you're not going to enter paradise, man. So you can walk down in the Death Valley where it's really easy, or you can start climbing Spirituality Mountain. But it's a hard mountain to climb. But once you do your purification, it becomes easy because, you know, you don't have any strings attached to your consciousness or your soul. When you don't have those strings attached to you, they can't play you like a puppet anymore. So, I want to show you something. And show you something beautiful. I want you to watch this one now. Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron. You're all puppets. Tangled in strings. Strings. There are no strings on me. It's time for you to cut those strings loose, man. So, when you watch this video here, there's a son and a daughter and a father that represent males and females. The father represents the three fathers. And if you don't cut the Father loose, you're going to drag yourself down into death. The two guys that fall on these guys, this girl here and the guy, they represent walking on water and turning water into wine. And that number 25, that's what the son and daughter represent. They're going to cut the Father loose. But the two guys that fall down, fall off the mountain, that's parting the sea and the rivers and springs of Jana. And if you don't want to fall down like those guys in the scene here, you need to cut your false father loose, because I'm your real father.